We touch them every day, use them without thinking, walk past them without a second glance. But what if I told you that the most ordinary things around you hide some of the most extraordinary secrets? From pencils to toothpaste, from the color blue to your kitchen sponge, today, we're diving deep into 25 uncommon facts about the most common things. Get ready to never look at your daily routine the same way again. Pencils can draw a line 35 miles long. At first glance, a pencil might seem like one of the most unremarkable items in your home, but it hides a surprising superpower. A standard graphite pencil, like the ones you used in school, can draw a continuous line stretching over 35 miles, or about 56 kilometers. That's longer than the distance of a full marathon. And here's another twist. Despite being commonly referred to as lead pencils, there's absolutely no lead in them. The writing core is made of a mixture of graphite and clay. The myth of lead pencils dates back to ancient times when graphite was first discovered and mistaken for lead due to its shiny appearance. Thankfully, this error didn't cause a health crisis, because lead is toxic. The wood casing around the pencil, often made from cedar, keeps the fragile core safe and break-resistant. In fact, during World War II, special pencils were even used to hide maps and compasses by the Allies. Something so simple, yet so resourceful. So next time you're scribbling or sketching, remember, you're holding a surprisingly durable, historically significant tool in your hand that could draw a path to the next town over. Bananas are berries, but strawberries aren't. You eat them all the time, but have you ever wondered what actually qualifies as a berry? Botanically speaking, a true berry is a fruit that develops from a single ovary of a flower and contains multiple seeds, all encased in one outer skin. Under this definition, bananas are actual berries. Surprised? It gets better. Tomatoes, grapes, and even kiwis also qualify as true berries. But strawberries? Nope. They're imposters in the berry world. Strawberries form from a flower with multiple ovaries, which makes them an aggregate fruit, not a berry. Those little seeds on the outside. They're actually called achenes, and each one is technically its own separate fruit. So the next time you grab a fruit salad and someone calls it a berry mix, you'll know better. It's a quirky fact that flips your breakfast bowl on its head. Even stranger, plantains, bananas' cousins, also fall into the berry category. And the banana plant, it's actually the world's largest herb, not a tree. So yes, next time you're munching on a banana, just know you're actually eating an herbaceous berry that has more in common with a tomato than a strawberry. Most people have never seen their true eye color. You think you know your eye color, right? Maybe blue, green, brown, or hazel, but the truth is, most people have never actually seen their real eye color. That's because the color you see in a mirror is largely influenced by artificial lighting. In natural daylight, the pigments and light scattering effects in your iris appear significantly different. This phenomenon is due to a principle called Rayleigh scattering, the same reason the sky looks blue. Your iris scatters shorter blue wavelengths of light more than longer red wavelengths, altering how the color appears. Under a bright flashlight or in direct sunlight, you might suddenly see flecks of green or gold you never noticed. Eye color is determined by both the amount and distribution of melanin in the iris. Two people with identical melanin levels can have drastically different looking eyes, simply due to structure and lighting. And if you've ever thought your eyes change color, you're not hallucinating. Emotions, lighting, clothing, and even weather can influence perception. So go outside, look in a mirror, and really study your eyes under natural light. You might just be surprised at what you find staring back at you. The microwave was invented by accident. Have you ever made popcorn in a microwave and wondered who came up with this genius device? Well, it wasn't planned. The microwave oven was actually invented by accident in 1945 by an engineer named Percy Spencer. While working with radar equipment during World War II at Raytheon, Spencer noticed a chocolate bar in his pocket had melted. Intrigued, he tested further and placed popcorn kernels near the magnetron, a vacuum tube that emits microwaves. The kernels popped. That's when he realized microwaves could cook food. It wasn't long before the first microwave oven was developed, standing nearly 6 feet tall and costing thousands of dollars. Today's compact kitchen version, a direct descendant of that accidental discovery. The science behind it is fascinating. Microwaves excite water molecules in food, causing them to vibrate rapidly and heat up. That's why things with high water content heat so efficiently. Ironically, Spencer never patented the invention himself and made no money from it, despite creating a kitchen revolution. Next time you warm up leftovers, remember, it all started with a melted chocolate bar in a guy's pocket. The Eiffel Tower grows taller in summer. It's already an architectural marvel, but did you know the Eiffel Tower can actually grow taller? Yes, in the summer months, the Eiffel Tower can increase in height by up to 6 inches, about 15 centimeters. This happens due to a physical property of metal called thermal expansion. When metal is exposed to heat, its particles move more rapidly and spread out, causing the material to expand. The Eiffel Tower, made primarily of iron, responds visibly to this phenomenon. When the sun beats down during hot Parisian summers, the metal framework absorbs the heat and stretches upward. But don't worry, it doesn't lean or warp. It's engineered to handle this flex. Conversely, in winter, the tower contracts and returns to its usual height. Engineers have long factored this into its maintenance schedule. The structure also sways a little in the wind, up to 2 to 3 inches. So while tourists are snapping selfies, the Eiffel Tower is subtly breathing with the seasons. It's a living monument in a way, constantly changing with nature. The color orange was named after the fruit. What came first, the color or the fruit? Surprisingly, it was the fruit. The word, orange, as a color didn't exist in the English language before the fruit was introduced to Europe. Before that, the English simply referred to the color as giallo-red, which means yellow-red in Old English. When the fruit, originally from Southeast Asia, arrived in Europe through trade routes, it was called naranj in Arabic, which then evolved into naranj in Old French, and finally became orange in English. Over time, the vivid hue of the fruit influenced how people describe the color. So the next time you see a sunset and describe it as orange, you're actually using a term born from a fruit, not vice versa. This linguistic evolution shows how everyday items can influence language development. It's not just a color, it's a symbol of cultural exchange. Other colors like pink, turquoise, and amber have similar origins tied to real-world objects. But orange is unique. It flipped the usual naming convention on its head, making fruit the boss of the color wheel. Toothpaste glows under UV light. Toothpaste may just be the most exciting thing in your bathroom, if you shine a UV light on it. Why? Because many kinds of toothpaste contain phosphors, which are compounds that glow under ultraviolet light. These chemicals absorb invisible UV radiation and then re-emit it as visible light, creating that glowing, fluorescent effect. Manufacturers often add these phosphors to make your teeth appear whiter under bright light, like in photos or advertisements. So, when you brush your teeth, you're essentially applying a mild glow in the dark polish to your smile. And it's not just about looks. Some whitening toothpaste uses optical brighteners that reflect blue light to counteract yellow tones in enamel, giving the illusion of a brighter smile. If you're ever near a black light, grab your toothpaste tube and give it a look. It's like discovering a hidden party in your sink. It's a fun science meets marketing trick that's been quietly at work in your morning routine all along. Your body has more bacteria than human cells. You are not alone. In fact, your body is home to around 39 trillion bacterial cells, compared to roughly 30 trillion human cells. That means you're technically more bacteria than human, at least by cell count. Don't freak out, these microbes are essential to your health. They live in your gut, skin, mouth, and even your eyelashes. This collection is called the human microbiome, and it plays a crucial role in digestion, immunity, and even mental health. Some bacteria help break down food, produce vitamins like B12 and K, and fend off harmful pathogens. The gut microbiome, in particular, is sometimes referred to as the second brain, because of its influence on mood and behavior. Scientists are still uncovering how this microscopic universe inside you affects diseases, metabolism, and longevity. Antibiotics, diet, and even stress can disrupt this delicate balance. So while we often associate bacteria with being dirty, many of them are actually working full-time to keep you alive and thriving. You're not just a person, you're an entire ecosystem. Keys have been around for over 4,000 years. Think your house key is a modern invention. Think again. The first known lock and key devices were created in ancient Egypt over 4,000 years ago. These early locks were large, made entirely of wood, and operated using massive wooden keys, some as long as your arm. The basic mechanism involved pins and tumblers, much like the keys we use today. Later, the Romans improved the design using metal and added wards, internal projections, to make locks more secure. They even wore their keys as rings, both for convenience and as a status symbol. Today's keys may be sleeker, but they work on surprisingly similar principles. Even high-security keys and digital systems are just the modern extensions of an ancient idea: securing what's valuable. Whether it's your front door, your car, or your gym locker, you're continuing a legacy that spans millennia. Humans shed 600,000 skin cells every hour. If you've ever wondered where all that dust in your house comes from, here's an unsettling fact: a large portion of it is you. Humans shed about 600,000 skin cells per hour, which adds up to over 1.5 pounds of skin every year. Skin is constantly regenerating itself. New cells form at the bottom of the epidermis while older ones rise to the surface and flake off. This process is essential for healing and protecting the body. However, it also means your environment is covered in microscopic traces of yourself. In fact, dead skin makes up a significant portion of household dust, and dust mites feed on it. Your pillow, mattress, and even your keyboard are prime real estate for this microscopic snowstorm. So the next time you clean your room or vacuum the floor, just know, you're not just picking up dirt, you're tidying up pieces of yourself. Kind of gross, yes, but also weirdly fascinating. So the next time you pick up a pencil, drink your coffee, or brush your teeth, remember, there's a whole world of strange and amazing facts hiding in plain sight. The most ordinary things can be absolutely extraordinary when you look a little closer. If you enjoyed this deep dive into everyday wonders, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And for more incredible facts, mind-blowing stories, and surprising science, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload. There's always more than meets the eye, and we're just getting started.